Welcome back, everyone! This is Jurenitis bringing you Feed the Beast 1710. Today we are starting on episode 48, and today we're going to go ahead and get our assembly line going. First thing, before we get going, I need to tell you that in between episodes, I moved this armor stand over one so that we have more space for the assembly line. I went and got myself some more iron. Here we go. So now I got a little bit more here. As a matter of fact, I should go ahead and compress some of this up while I'm talking. I went ahead and made up some more plastic. I just went out there, grabbed some plastic, finished making the speed upgrades from the potions, which, by the way, I don't need these cakes here at all now. I can always come get them more later. And I also used up some of my mana out here to go ahead and upgrade the Terra Shatterer to rank A. Okay, from rank B to rank A required 10 pools of mana. I know I had already gotten partway into that, so I just dropped it on there and then picked it up a couple times, waiting for it to hit A rank. To go from A to S, I need 100 pools of mana. So yeah, that's all of my mana pools filled 5 times, and we may not fill that much before the series ends. Just saying. Much less to get it to SS, which is actually 1,000 mana pools after that 100. So yeah, kind of insane. Yeah, that's what I was going for. Anyway, one of the things I wanted to show you, but that is since I have upgraded it. Oh hey, there's my blazes. Heh. Yeah, but I don't know if I ever showed you guys that, but I needed blaze rods one time, and I had that blaze spawner that I found in the nether, but I didn't have anywhere to put it, so I just kind of dropped it here. So, I really probably should put that somewhere to do something. Hey. Hey, get back here. You're not supposed to exist. So anyway, now that the Terra Shatterer is rank A, when we activate it, you will see that it does a 5x5 area now. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And always keep in mind that it does go 2 to each side, 1 below, and then 4 up. Okay, so it always does 1 below the block you're pointing at. So that's very good to know, very useful information. So, that being said, let's move on, because we've wasted enough time talking. Let's build some stuff. If we can ever make it up the stairs. Alright, so we got everything. Oh, oops. Oh, that's right. I was actually making the plastic, so I actually set this to be set to plastic. There. Alright, cool. So, assembly line. Building the assembly line, the first thing we want to do is empty my inventory out of this junk that I just put in it, because I really don't need it there. Probably don't need the zombie brain either. Or to leave this active. Or to be on it at all. Okay, here we go. Assembly line. For the assembly line, we are going to need first the assembly controller. The assembly controller is the basic block that everything else runs off of. So we're going to need compressed iron, pressure tube, and some printed circuit boards. So we got the printed circuit boards still in our inventory. There's the tube. There's the iron. And we're going to need a couple other things from in here before it's all said and done, but I don't remember exactly what they are. So, alright, so one assembly controller. Thank God I didn't shift-click that time, because I'm bad to do it. That's right, we're going to need another hopper, which I don't have. We're going to need, and the pneumatic cylinders. I made extra pneumatic cylinders. I know I only needed, I think it was either 11 or 13, but I made extras, and there's a reason for that. Because I was about ready to build a pretty building for Pneumaticraft, and then move all this into the pretty building, and then I just decided that I really just don't want to. I will build a pretty building for it, but I'm not prepared to build a pretty building right now. So we're just not going to. Alright, so we're going to need, I think, 3 of these. Isn't it 3 of these? It's this, right? Yeah, 3 of these. Okay, yeah, that's right. Alright, cool. And, of course, I'm going to need 2 hoppers. And I don't have those, I know. Because I looked for them last episode, I believe, and I couldn't find them then either. Yep. Alright, so let's toss a couple hoppers together. No big deal. That's not where you find iron. I may have to actually move my I may have to move my game to a server. A private server, but a server nonetheless. Because I am starting to have lag issues no matter what I do, and at a certain point you just have to buckle down and do that. But I am pushing my limits on this pretty heavily, so please tell me that. Yes, IO unit. Okay, good. 2 IO units. I just gotta be careful. I made exactly the right number of circuit boards that I needed, and I don't need to make a mistake. One of these, and then the laser, which I need some rose red in order to do. There we go. Laser. Alright, cool. So with this, we now have everything we need to set up an automated assembly line. First things first, I want to go ahead and make myself some more PCBs. So we're going to go ahead and grab... Wait, do I have this turned on? Yes, I do. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and throw some creeper plant plastic in here. And I'm going to go ahead and throw in some compressed iron to make ourselves some of these PCBs, the simple ones. Alright, and then these can be processing up because we're going to want those here in just a second. Alright, so now we can go ahead and place these out. First thing we want to do is hook in the controller because, like I said, that is the backbone to everything. Alright, we're going to put the controller right here, and then we're going to go ahead and run some airline to it. Come on. There. Alright, so now we have that running over to here, and when we right-click on this, we can see that we have air pressure. Now, this one actually requires 3.5 bars of pressure to actually function, and that's fine because we have plenty of that being made, and because we dropped low, our compressors are now going again. I love automation. It's so much easy. Alright, so then we're going to need the 2 IO units. And let's see, it's going to be, we're going to put them here and here. Now, they're both blue, and we're going to have to fix that because one needs to be orange and one needs to be blue. As is typical of Minecraft Modded, blue is input and orange is output. So we're going to have to change that to be better. All right, we're going to go ahead and put the platform in the middle. Now, the platform that you are working on needs to be next to both of the IO units, okay? It doesn't have to be touching on the side. Like, I could put both IO units right here next to each other, and it will reach on an angle, but it does need to be, within 1 block's distance, even if it's on an angle for it to function, okay? So, and the other thing we're going to need is the laser itself, which we're going to put here. That also needs to be within reasonable distance of the platform. All right, I wonder how much it actually takes to make the drill. Well, it actually doesn't take that much. We'll just need another printed circuit board. As a matter of fact, you know what? We're going to make the drill because it's part of the assembly line and we need to. But before we can do that, we're actually going to need to go ahead and get ourselves a new chest. Let's see, 1 chest here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade it to iron. That way it has plenty of inventory space. The reason being is because the PCBs don't stack. And if you're going to make a lot of PCBs at the same time, you actually want this to have plenty of room. So that being said, I'm actually just going to go ahead and make it into a gold chest. I've got plenty of gold, so no big deal there. Alright, so we're going to put the chest right here because we need to be able to access the chest with the IO units. Alright? Have we got circuit boards? Yes, we do. Here, pull them out. That'll take its sweet time pulling it out. And we're going to put the drill is probably going to either sit here or here. I'm not sure I want the chest over there. I might change this. As a matter of fact, I am going to change this. You come off of there, and you come off of there. I want the chest to be here, and the other IO unit to be here. That way I can access it all from this side. Yeah, that works. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is we need to be able to actually change these IO units. We need to make one orange. And to do that, we're going to need ourselves the Pneumaticraft wrench, or in this case, it is the Pneumaticraft wrench. I forgot they actually called it that. It's actually an impact gun is what they're called in the business. I'm a mechanic by trade, and I work on cars, and I use impact guns like frequently. So I tend to try to think of them in my turns. And I was like, we need the Pneumaticraft wrench, which is called, no, it's not called that. It's no pneumatic wrench. Well, yes, it is. Okay, well, whatever. So we need 5 pieces of plastic of the burst plant type, a lever and an air canister, and the air canister is just redstone, a pressure tube, and some compressed iron, which we should be able to just throw together real quick. Let's see, we got that, we got that. We need some redstone, and we need some burst plant plastic. Now, along with this, we're going to need one other item, and we'll make that here in just a second, once I figure out what I was doing, because I just lost my train of thought. Ah, redstone. I needed redstone. Alright. Make me one of these, make me one of these, except I don't have a lever. There we go. They really should use a button instead of a lever. Just saying. Okay, I'm doing something wrong here. And the air canister. Oh, because the air canisters don't stack. Alright, cool. So now we have the Pneumaticraft wrench, or the air hammer, air gun, whatever you want to call it. But it doesn't do anything, because it has to be charged. Okay? And to charge it, we are going to need a charging station, because you can't actually do anything with this. You can't put it in here, it doesn't work. Alright? Is this thing still working? Oh, it's probably because I've got the, I made the extra speed upgrades. Let's actually put them to use. There we go. Sweet. And they should all be showing up here. Excellent. Although we may have to do something about this chest because, you know, space constraints and whatnot. Alright, so we're going to need the charging station so that we can charge up the pneumatic wrench. So the charging station is right here. And the charging station is actually very simple to make as long as you have the fire flower seeds. Which if you have to go hunting them in the nether, don't, because all you need to do is have netherrack and apply some bone meal. Don't forget that, please. It will save you so much trouble. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and make a couple of these because we're going to need more than one of them when it all comes down to it. We're going to go ahead and make 2 for the moment. And let's see, we're also going to need some cobblestone slabs and some pressure conduits, some pressure tubes. But that should be it. We should be able to put these here. And then, was it there? I think it was there. There we go. And now we have 2 charging stations. And then, of course, we have to hook the charging station to pressurized air, which is actually going to be more difficult than I'd like to say. What I'd really like to do is... See, I'm trying to keep this within the certain space constraints here. Yeah, we're going to have to build a pretty building, because this just isn't going to work out right otherwise. Anyway, we can go ahead and place this here for now, and that's going to go ahead and bring the pressure in here. Now, in here, we can go ahead and put the pneumatic wrench. And as you can see, it is starting to charge up. Alright, so we can also go ahead and grab a couple of speed upgrades here, because like I said, speed upgrades can be used in every aspect of this mod. And we can go ahead and put the speed upgrades in here, and it will cause this to charge up faster. Okay. Let's see, other upgrades available. Volume, security, speed, dispenser upgrade. That's actually a fun one. It adds a charge pad to the charging station, allowing it to discharge any drones, items, and player inventory items that are on top of the charging station. So you can drop something on here and it will charge it instead of actually having to come in here. But we're actually just fine with it charging up like this. It's not going to hurt our feelings. Now, one thing that you should notice. This has a maximum pressure of 10 bars. Okay? And we are showing that the charging station has a capability of holding 20 bars, okay? But we're not going to have that much going to it because we can't, because everything else would explode first. But when you're charging this, it cannot charge any higher than the system currently has, okay? It has equalized the pressure with the system. So I can take this out of here and use it, that's fine. But just keep in mind that, you know, if you're sitting there going, why won't it charge all the way up? It can't charge all the way up. It went to 4.6 bars, which is what the system pressure is. It can't go higher than the system pressure, so don't think that's a mistake. It actually is intended to be that way. Now that we have this, we can go ahead and let's put this one. All you gotta do is right-click, and yes, you can change it back, no problem. And you can actually use this to rotate other things as well in Pneumaticraft. Like if I were to right click on this charging station, it would actually rotate it away and start venting all the pressure. So you can use it to rotate things just like your typical wrench. Now each time you use it, you do use a little bit of pressure from it, but that's really not a big deal because I've got plenty of pressure and it works just like a wrench. Anyway, so we can go ahead and put this back now. All right, so now, let's see. Let's put this stuff away. Actually, well, I'll come back to that in a minute. And this as well. And that. And we'll keep this aside for the moment. And that should let us have all the space we need. All right, now, here it still says to put in a UV light box to progress. But we don't need to do that anymore because we've got the assembly line. So now the assembly line is in here, we can go ahead and put all of these into this, and you'll see it start to function. No, you won't, because I keep forgetting stupid things, because me. The assembly controller has all the pressure it needs, but it has no program. Okay, and if you actually looked here, it would actually say there's no program to run, insert an assembly program. Okay, status is fine, no drill online because we don't have a drill, but we're going to make one. We need the program. So since we're using just the laser, we're going to go ahead and just make the laser program. Okay, just the laser program is actually very simple. It is rose red surrounded by emeralds. And just like the thing that we made yesterday, the PCB pattern. This. Yeah, the PCB blueprint. Just like the PCB blueprint, eventually this will be phased out and it won't be used anymore. You'll be able to trade with a villager to get that as well. So, let's see, growing stuff. Here we go. And we can go ahead and make the laser platform. And when I make this, it'll say the same thing. It'll actually say, hey, this isn't supposed to exist. See? Alright, so here we go. We can now put the laser program in here. And once we put the laser program in here, look, things are moving. It's alive! Alright, but it's alive, but it's slow. And I don't like slow. So let's go ahead and put the speed upgrades in here. And you'll see that it will increase its speed pretty decently. And you know what? We're going to need to make more speed upgrades because I hate slow. Alright, cool. So now, instead of having to put these in the UV light box and then the etching acid, this will automatically do it for me. And as you can see, it just picked one up, etched it, and then put it back. So now we have an unassembled PCB. It has saved us multiple steps. And since I put the speed upgrades in, this is actually working a lot faster. Like, very nicely faster. Clip. Yoink. And as you can see, you'll see that it actually takes it out. Now, when it puts it back, it is stacking them up, so that is kind of nice. I'm very glad for that. So let's let that run for a second. And as you can see, by the way, it actually says that it's running, which is actually really cool. It actually does change the display there to show you that it's functioning. All right, so now over here, we want to go ahead and make the drill program and the drill capability and probably the drill and laser program. I hope they actually fixed that. In previous versions, it made it so that you had to use the laser program for laser things, you had to use the drill program for drill things, and you had to use the drill and laser program for the thing that used both of them. But you couldn't use the drill and laser program for the for just laser stuff. So that was actually very irritating. So I believe that's probably been changed now. We're about to find out. So. Oh, wow, we already have 3 more. Nice. That is working out rather nicely. All right, so we're going to need to make these into printed circuit boards. So we're going to need our capacitors and our transistors, not resistors, but that's fine. That's why we made extras of these, remember? Excellent. So, yeah, we took an entire episode to put together the stuff to make 7 of these, and I just made 5 of them in 5 minutes. So, yes, definitely worth the time. Alright, so let's see. We want to go ahead and make the drill. Because the drill actually does have a purpose, and it'll be really cool to have. So we're going to need 3 more cylinders, a diamond... Ooh, diamond tip drill. Expensive. Diamond. Sort, please. And then 3 more of these. And some of this, I don't remember how much now. and probably no pipe. That's right, these don't actually accept air, so they don't use a pipe to make. Sweet. So now we're going to place the drill down. I'm actually going to put the drill back here because I want to. And when we look here, now we can see that it says that the drill is online. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and make the drill program and see if I'm right about this. I'm fairly certain I'm right about this. Why is the drill program not on the second page now? Don't know. All right, and it's a diamond surrounded by emeralds, which this is actually fairly expensive, especially if you have a hard time with emeralds, but you shouldn't. Villages don't tend to be too hard to find, and if you can't find a village, you can always cure a villager of his zombieism, because that's a thing. Alright, so let's steal this real quick. I may be wasting... If this doesn't work the way I think it will, then I'm wasting 8 emeralds. But we combine these two, and now we have the drill and laser program. And now if this doesn't work, if this is useless, then I'll have to go make a new laser program. And, wow, seriously, guys? No problems, just not gonna do anything. Really? See, that's just silly. Why would you have to waste that? I really thought that would have been fixed by now. Oh well, let's waste some more emeralds. Let's see why he does that. I'm very curious as to why he does that. Because it's actually kind of funny because you don't actually use... Yep, now it's working again. Interesting. Alright, let's see. Where's the recipes on this? I want to see what this is, what this makes. You're supposed to be able to click here for recipes, but it's not working. Well, that's okay. So this is used, and it saves you, time and trouble on certain things. But let's see. How do I... I know how I'll be able to find it here. Unassembled PCB. There we go. Recipes. Alright, so there's 5 recipes that the assembly line is used in. And of course, this is just the drill program will turn a block of compressed iron into 4 pressure chamber valves, which basically all that does is saves you one piece of, well, actually, technically, it saves you, because the pressure chamber valve is 8 pieces of compressed iron and a pressure tube. So that actually saves you 1, 2, 3 pieces of compressed iron if you want to go that way. Secondly, this is the one we're currently using. And then here also with the laser, you can turn the pressure chamber valves into advanced pressure tubes, which that we will probably do when we get into the deeper parts of this. But then, let's see, this one makes the aphorism tiles. Those are pretty cool. We'll get into that when we build the pretty building. And then the last one is to turn a just normal block of compressed iron into advanced pressure tubes, and that actually basically just drills this out, makes it into the first part, and then makes it straight into that. And that's pretty much the only thing that both of these are used for. And realistically, I can just craft these. I don't actually need to use the assembly line for that, and all it does is save me a very, very little bit. So I'm actually I'm kind of upset with myself for wasting those materials. Oh well, why do I have a sapphire in my inventory? Either way, so now we are actually up to 14 PCBs. So excellent, which we actually are going to need a couple of these, but we're also going to need to go ahead and get a couple other things, because we are going to make drones. I like drones. They are useful. Alright, so the drone is going to be 4 of the drone rotors, turbine rotors, and some printed circuit boards. So we're going to make at least 2 drones to start out with, so we're going to need to go ahead and make 8 turbine rotors, which is going to require, no wait, was it 8? Hang on a second. Yeah, 4 of these per drone, so that's 2 drones, that's 8. And then each of these requires 3 turbine blades, and the turbine blades are gold and redstone, 1 gold and 2 redstone each. I can't do math on camera. Okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to power through it. Gold. Okay, so twice as much redstone as we need. Gold, we're going to need 3 of these per rotor. So that is 12 per drone, 24 total. Right, so that means we need 24 gold. And 48 redstone. And we should be able to go ahead and toss these in here. And turn this on so it doesn't get pulled out. And that should make that stuff. And we can go ahead and put ourselves together some of the PCBs, which we're probably going to have to make more of these here very shortly. But that's okay. Wait a minute, I've got 4. Oh, that's okay. Well, whatever. There's no use for these other than to make them into this anyway, so. Or is there? No, I don't think there is. Yeah, that's it. Okay. I was thinking that was right, but... Alright, cool. So, let's see. Toss this back in here, back in here. Don't have to worry about this. And the printed circuit boards are that. Now, I considered actually running this in to be auto-sorted from this chest, but it has to have the stuff in the chest for it to be pulled in and then processed. So, I could actually just put this as just a secondary chest, and then run conduits over and just tell it not to pull out any of the empty PCBs. But I just don't care. I'm not going to go through that much effort just for this little bit right here. So, excellent. All right, so let's see. We're going to need 2 of these. And why didn't that work? Did I do my math wrong? Or did I get some redstone pulled out? I'll bet I got some redstone pulled out before I had the chance. I'll bet if I put 4 redstone in there, that it will go ahead and finish those. Ha! It's like I know. Alright, pull those out. Bring it over here. And 24 of these later, we can now go ahead and make our drones. Compressed iron. And we should be able to... Well, actually, let's just do it this way. There we go. 8 of these makes 4 of these, which makes 2 of these. Yeah, what I said. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put these drones on the charging station so they can go ahead and charge up with pressure. And while they're doing that, we have to get into the programming station for the drones. Security station, programmer. Here we go. That's what I get for not looking. We need 2 more turbine rotors, so that means we're going to need 6 more of these. 6 more of these is 6 gold and 12 redstone. Let's do this all over again. Be right back. And with that, we have our programmer. Now, the programmer is used to program the drones. I'm going to go ahead and put the programmer right here for now because, yeah. We don't really have a place for it because we haven't built a pretty new Mattercraft building. I actually have a decent idea for the new Mattercraft building, and I think it's going to be really cool. I have to choose a place for it, and then I have to build it outside of this so that I actually have half an idea of what it's going to look like in this world, and then we'll do that. But for now, let's look at this. Since the last version, this has changed greatly. Okay, difficulty, easy, medium, and hard. I'm not even sure. Actually, I don't even know what that changes. They've done a lot of things to this since last time, and I'm going to have to figure out how this all works again so that I can go ahead and program this. So yeah, we're actually out of time for the episode anyway. So before we close up the episode right now, I'm going to show you that for the purposes of time, I'm going to go ahead and do something off camera that's just, you know, a bunch of crafting. Basically, there are as many different programming puzzle pieces, which is what you use to program the drones, as there are different types of plastic, okay? So the programming puzzle, here is fire flower, creeper plant, slime plant, rain plant, propulsion plant, and so on. Okay, each one of these is going to be a printed circuit board surrounded by its respective kind of plastic, okay? Now, depending on what you actually want to program your drones to do, you may not need all of these. However, I intend to use the drones for various different purposes, so in between episodes, I'm going to go ahead and craft myself up probably 2 craftings worth of each of these. So that's going to be 16 plastic. I'm going to make one right here just to show you, and then in between episodes, I'll put a bunch more of these together. Okay, we're going to do that and surround this by this, okay? And this is going to get us the puzzle piece that apparently actually has various different versions of it, but it's going to get us 8 red puzzle pieces, okay? Now, as we look over here, the red puzzle piece has liquid filter, it has an entity attack, and then you've got, I know it's more than that, it's showing more than that. Redstone and so on. I'll have to figure that part out. They've changed it more than I expected them to, so I really don't, I could have programmed before that. Oh, here we go. And emit redstone, affecting all sides. So yeah, each piece has a bunch of various different things now, so I'm going to go ahead in between episodes and make a whole bunch of puzzle pieces, and I'm probably actually going to go ahead and store the puzzle pieces in their own separate chest next to the programmer, because I don't want to have to keep walking back and forth over to here. So I guess we're just going to do this like this, and when we come back next episode, we will program our drones to do a simple task, and then we're going to get away from new Mattercraft for a little bit because I want to do something new. One of the things I'm actually having a hard time with is all this inventory management, and I think that we are going to go ahead and get into Applied Energistics. Maybe. I'm thinking about it. Nah, who am I kidding? We're going to get into Applied Energistics next. We have to. It's time. We have spent way too much time sifting through things, and it's time to actually get ourselves a good old Applied Energistics system going, and that will simplify things greatly. So, next episode, programming drones. After that, Applied Energistics. So until next time, this is Jeronitis signing off on episode 48? Yes, 48 of my Let's Play series. Like me if you like me, subscribe if you want to see what we get into next, and as always, help spread the gaming!